Okay, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tony. Today I'm here with my sister Holly playing golf with your friends, and we are just chatting about stuff. Last time we talked about the Mandela effect. This time we're going to talk about growing up. There's 5 of us, like 5 sisters. We're going to talk about how we all grew up in the same house with the same parents, but had vastly different experiences. So, here we go. Alright, hello, Holly?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I am recording. I just did my intro. Are you ready?
All right. I am.
Okay, so like I just told them, today we are talking about oh shit. I didn't mean to do the same thing again. How do I get out of here? we're going to get out of here and we're going to start over again. I don't want to do the same board. Okay, we are going to retire. Okay. Anyway, so today Holly and I are talking about how us and all of our sisters, there are 5 of us all together, and how we all grew up in the same house, but somehow managed to have vastly different experiences.
Yeah, different perspectives, totally.
Yeah.
Hold on, real quick. Do you want me to leave this so that you can reinvite me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
so I'm going to read off our choices for holes and tell me which one you want. We've got Forest, Haunted, Oasis, Space Station, Museum, Pirate Cove, Volcano, Ancient, Twilight, we just did Candyland, Worms, The Escapists, and The Deep.
Absolutely haunted.
Alright, Haunted it is. Okay. Load. Okay, I guess this is fine how it is. Invite you. Okay, so yeah. Holly and I grew up in a family with 5 girls. And she is the baby of the family. I'm the middle of the family. And then we've got 3 other sisters.
Yes.
And
same mom and dad too.
Yep, same parents. Same mom and dad, fully.
Oh no, I failed to join.
Oh, seriously?
Alright, try that one more time, invite me again.
Alright, do I need to retire?
I don't think so. I think you just have to reinvite me.
I don't know how to reinvite you.
Oh, well then I guess you have to retire and then reinvite me.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's alright. I forgot to join. That's really funny. But one of the biggest differences with, at least with me and Holly, is that the older 4, like me and our other 3 sisters, were in Arizona for 5 years. So
yes.
She, of course, has no memory of that because she was not born.
I was conceived there.
You were conceived there. Mom was pregnant when we traveled back, but Holly has no memories of Arizona. All right, you're invited.
Okay. It'll pop up in a second.
And so me and the other, I don't think Tracy, the sister right below me, I don't think she has a lot of memories because she was what, 2 or 3 when we came back? No way.
She was 3 because she turned 4 right before I was born.
Yeah, she was 3 because I was 7.
Also, it didn't invite me.
What the heck?
This game really hates me right now. Oh, there we go. Okay. So yeah, Tracy was 3. She has no memory
Of Arizona, yeah.
Arizona.
And I have vague memory. I have sporadic memory. Like I remember like meeting Denise and Shannon for the first time. I remember like Heather running me over with the bike. I remember, the Cheese Please girl. I remember Heather's car accident. Like, there are some things that I remember. There are other things.
You're gonna remember big events from
exactly
before the age of 7.
Yeah, exactly. But Heather and Heidi have a much stronger memory of Arizona than I do because they were so much older.
Yeah.
But the thing that gets me the most is like how would you describe your childhood?
Oh gosh, which part of it?
Just a generalized, how would you describe your childhood?
Very, very free and loose and not a lot of structure, but fun.
Yeah, see, and like for me
But
and
also kind of
Tracy,
stressful.
we had an amazing childhood. Like Mom and Dad, Aunt Della and Uncle Art always coming, Aunt Jan, like parties at, not like parties,
See,
barbecues.
See, the thing is I had like a fun childhood, but my fun childhood was just marked with a lot of stresses that I don't think.
Yeah, and drama, or trauma, I mean, not trauma.
Well, and drama, yeah.
Well, yeah, drama and trauma.
Yeah.
But
So,
because me and Tracy
because
were
I was
older.
a kid, oh, what?
Well, I was gonna say because when me and Tracy were older when Dad died, we got more of like the childhood.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, I don't really know how to explain it because, when you're a kid, obviously, you're still noticing the bad things and you're still dealing with, whatever problems are happening around you. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you're a kid. You're kind of like, you're oblivious to how bad it is until later.
Right.
So, I knew that things were kind of messed up at some points, but at the same time, I was just kind of like, oh, well, whatever,
Yeah. Well, and like for me and like Tracy, at least, because we've talked about this, her and I, like in our mind, we had an absolutely amazing childhood. Because, we always had family coming over in the summer. We were staying at people's houses. We had both of our parents. We, had our house. We had Doug and Kyle. And, like, all of our friends, Jennifer. And, like, just everybody. And we thought that our childhood was great. Like, we didn't realize we were poor. We didn't realize there was any kind of, anything.
Oh, yeah. See, I did.
Yeah, see, and we had no idea. But, like, to hear Heather tell it, you would think that we had, like, the worst childhood you could ever have.
Right.
And that has always baffled me because I don't know if it's more because of Gil, like, because,
Well, I think that because Heather was in high school, I don't know. When we I don't know, because she was out of high school when Dad died. I don't know.
Yeah, she was 19.
Why. Yeah.
But, like,
I'm not really sure
well,
why we feel that
honestly, I think the reason, like, no shade to Gil, but, like, Gil was raised as an only child. Or, I mean, he was an only child. And, in his mind, like, or, I mean, in their mind, like, because, obviously as an only child, his family was going to have, more money to give to him.
Yeah.
And, we weren't always going to the mall and buying whatever we wanted. And, we all got our own jobs and had to buy our own stuff when we wanted stuff because there was 5 of us.
Oh, and you know him. He's not going to be quiet about commenting on it.
Yeah, exactly. And so, in her mind, we had this terrible, awful childhood because we, didn't have a bunch of money. Well,
yeah.
To me and, like, Tracy, and I don't know about you, but definitely to me and Tracy, we didn't care that we didn't have money and that we couldn't go to the mall constantly and that we couldn't, whatever. We just had fun. Like, and I don't know where I'm going. I literally don't know where I'm supposed to go right now.
I'm going this way because it looks easier. Nope, that's a dead end.
Yeah, so is where I am.
Yeah.
But we just genuinely enjoyed it. Like, going to Aunt Della's. And I mean, maybe it was because Heather was older when we moved back from Arizona. But
yeah, and she didn't have cousins. We don't really have a lot of cousins her age.
Yeah, exactly. We had Dad's family that we weren't super close with.
Yeah, like we saw them on holidays. We didn't hang out and party with ones that were her age.
Exactly. So that kind of, she didn't have the same experience, and it's crazy to me. And like Heidi was always just so busy, partying.
Get up on the ledge.
Is that what I have to do?
Yeah. Yeah, Heidi had her own. She wasn't going to be participating in family things anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Are you going backwards?
I don't know where the heck I'm going. I'm totally confused right now.
You're supposed to go up the wall, but then there's the mantle.
Oh, I do go up the mall? Oh, the mall, I just said. The wall? Okay.
Yeah, and then there's the mantle above the fireplace, but I don't think you're going to make it in 14.
Definitely not. Yeah, so that's the crazy thing to me is that,
Well, and see, for me, I definitely knew, I definitely felt being 4, but not before Dad died.
Right. Oh, yeah, yeah. After Dad died. Yeah, after Dad died, I fully knew. 100%.
Yeah, and I probably wouldn't have cared because I've never really cared that much about, like, material things, except that I was a kid and, you know, kids are mean. So...
Right. Where am I supposed to be going? I'm so confused.
Okay, so, I feel like we should talk about a specific aspect, like a specific situation, like specific whatever.
Okay, what?
Because, you know, there are lots, I don't know, but there are lots of, like, things that happened that I'm sure we viewed from different angles, and, you know.
Okay, well...
Like, what are some big, well, you know, obviously the dad thing, but you've already talked about.
Yeah, Dad died.
Although I watched that video.
Uh-huh.
And, man, like, I have, it's so weird. Do you want to know how that day played out for me in my head?
Sure.
Okay, so... what I remember is, and, like, I feel like I've been corrected on this before, but I swear I have this memory, where somebody, like, we were all just downstairs in the living room, and somebody said something about Dad not snoring. And...
okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like somebody commented about Dad not snoring. And I just remember that was, like, a moment where we were like, wait, what? But...
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember somebody saying something about it, but I think at that point, everybody else kind of, like, it was kind of, like, I feel like it was one of the younger, like, maybe Tracy or somebody said it, because she hadn't, like, really comprehended yet, but everybody else had, so everybody else was already kind of, like, in panic mode and didn't, like, hear her say it.
Oh, you mean, like,
you know
after Mom was already, like, doing CPR or whatever?
Yeah, like, I think that, like, it was, because you know how you said there was, like, that moment where everybody was like, oh, you know what I mean?
Well,
but I think it was, like...
What happened is, then, like, the Brodies called, because they wanted to know if Dad wanted to be in the football squares. And when I called Dad's name to wake him up, Mom rolled over and put her hand on his chest. So anything that happened with you guys beyond that point, I don't remember, because I was completely focused on panicking and the fact that Mom was, like, doing CPR and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it was, like, right after Mom, like, sat up and was like, oh shit, you know, and, like, had that moment. And then I think Tracy was like, Tracy made a joke, or somebody made a joke about Dad not snoring. And I remember that was the moment, for some reason, for me, where I felt like something was wrong, was somebody pointed out that he wasn't snoring.
Yeah, see, and if that happened, at that moment, I was too busy focusing on Mom, and I was the one who called 911, so I was on the phone with 911. And they made me stay on the phone until they got there.
So that was, like, my, like, oh my god moment.
Yeah, see, and I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah. And then for me, obviously, I don't know, because a lot of the rest of it's a blur.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have some moments that specifically stick out, and the rest I don't remember.
I have a memory that haunted me for the longest time about sitting on Heidi's lap, like, while Mom was gone at the hospital with Dad.
Uh-huh.
And Heidi's leg was, like, bouncing up and down like crazy, like, shaking uncontrollably.
Yeah, because she was freaking out.
And I was, like, and I was just, like, sitting on her lap, like, on her shaking knee. And I remember just stupid little tiny me being like, Heidi, why were you always so mean to Dad? Oh. And that moment,
no.
When I got old enough to realize what I had said to her at the most horrible time to say it.
Oh, God. How many times did you drunkenly apologize to her for that one?
So many times.
Oh, man.
And then, but she didn't remember it.
Really?
Yeah. Like, she, because I remember her just being like, I don't know, in response. So I'm not sure if, like, you know, because I think she was just gone.
Right, yeah, she was completely...
But man, I felt like an asshole.
Oh, no. I didn't know that happened either. Jeez.
Yeah. And then, and, you know, and then because I'm a kid, I remember Mom running in and going to the stairs.
Uh-huh.
And sitting on the stairs. And then after that, I just remember playing on the swing set with our cousins that came over.
Really?
Yeah. That's all I remember from that day.
I don't even remember. I mean, I know that people came over, but the only person that I remember coming over was Uncle Dennis, because I remember thinking that it was insane that Uncle Dennis got there in record time. And I also remember him getting out of his truck and like hugging us and telling us not to worry, it was going to be fine. He just survived like 4 heart attacks or whatever it was. And I remember thinking to myself how upset Uncle Dennis was going to be when he realized how wrong he was.
Yeah, because we already knew.
Mom hadn't came home and told us yet, but I knew.
Oh.
Because,
gotcha.
And the reason that I knew, sorry to put this image in your head, but sharing is caring. I was like, literally like, Mom was asking me to help her do CPR and Dad's tongue was gray.
Oh, God.
And,
yeah.
so that to me just, his tongue was gray, so that was it for me, basically.
Yeah, yeah. You know that there's, yeah.
Yeah. And,
that's a sign of, having been that way for a little bit.
Yeah. So, trigger warning, sorry for people watching, but,
Oh, yeah, you just put a trigger warning on the video.
right.
But yeah, like, so, yeah, but that was how, and you know, also, I remember playing happily with my cousins and being excited that my cousins were there. Which, I mean, I was a little kid, so obviously I'm not going to feel guilty about that, but at the same time, like, well, oblivious me, like...
Mom sent us to the movies. I don't think you came, but Mom sent the older ones all to the movies. And I remember as a kid even thinking that was weird that we were just, like, going to the movies, and why would we be at the movies, and, like... It didn't seem right to me, and I'm honestly surprised that now and then I like that movie, because you would think I would hate it.
Yeah, I know.
With that being the movie
especially since...
you know, that we saw.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I was much, much older that I realized that Mom just needed privacy so she could freak out.
I think she needed privacy, and at the same time, I think she just didn't know how to
function.
Comfort us at that point.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she was like, I can't grieve and deal with my kids grieving at the same
time.
Yeah,
exactly. So she kind of just needed us away so that she could figure out what the heck to do next.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure it was also partially like, please distract your minds, you know, like...
Right. Oh, okay. This is where we go. One thing that I distinctly remember is walking outside
I'm not trying anymore.
Afterwards, and Eric, our old neighbor Eric. I wasn't going to say his last name because he died.
Oh.
And I wasn't going to say something nice about what he did. He, like, rode up on his bike and was like, I know what happened to your dad. He's dead. And Doug, like, punched him off of his bike.
Yeah. I mean...
And, I mean, he was just a little kid, so he wasn't, like, he wasn't trying to be a jerk.
Like, you know.
But Doug was pissed. And, I mean, I understand why Doug was pissed. Doug and Dad were close.
Yeah.
Like, that was just as hard for... I mean, I guess not just as hard for Doug.
But... I mean, to be fair to Eric... I said something assholey that day too, and it was my own
dad.
Right. So.
Yeah, like that's like I wasn't gonna say his last name just because I didn't want it to come off as like that little jerk kid when he's dead. But
no, it's just like a moment that stuck in your mind because you were like, whoa. You know?
Well, and because I've never seen Doug get mad like that before.
Right, Doug's pretty mild-mannered.
Yeah, exactly, and he was, and that was kind of like when it clicked in my brain that Doug was equally as upset.
Yeah.
And what's funny is I genuinely don't remember if Doug said anything to me, if he hugged me, if he said I'm sorry, if he did anything. I just remember him knocking Eric out. And that's it. And another weird memory that I have, and I don't know if this is something that happened or what, I remember we didn't go to school for at least a few days. And I remember all of us sitting on folding chairs in the living room.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't know if that even actually happened. Why would we be sitting in folding chairs? We had a couch.
Yeah, I don't know why we would be sitting in folding chairs. Maybe because not all 5 of us fit on the couch at once.
I guess, but I remember like all of us just sitting in chairs in the living room just kind of like staring at each other like, what do we do? And I don't know if that's even something that happened or not.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. And like...
But to be honest, I don't remember a lot of like after that.
Yeah. But that is, like, one of the only memories that I have of, like, the few days after. And then I remember when I tried to go back to school, because I wanted to go back to school, it was the day before the funeral. And I was sitting in either art or history. I can't remember which, because it was the same teacher, same classroom. I remember having this urge to just get up and run out of the classroom because I wanted to cry, but I didn't, and instead I just sat there silently and stuffed it down. Which is kind of the story of my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
same though.
right. Exactly. That's a fun little trait that we all seem to have, except for Tracy. God knows Tracy does not have that trait.
No.
Tracy feels
and honestly,
everything.
The saddest part about that, and it's not Mom's fault. It's like it's not her fault because nobody asked us to. But I did that for the longest time because I didn't want to upset Mom.
I did it because I didn't want to upset you and Tracy.
Oh, see, there you go. But yeah, see, and like, because after that, you know, it's weird because the before, like, that's why I said what part of my childhood. Because before Dad, I mean, I don't remember that much, but I do remember, I remember, I know this is gonna sound weird, but it felt like it was always summer. Like, all of my memories.
Yeah, mine too. Except for the getting grounded. Every other memories, I think because most of the fun that we had was in the summer with like aunts and everybody coming to barbecues and
so
going to Aunt Della, swimming in the river.
Really stuck. Yeah. But so like before my childhood, it feels like a lot of parties and stuff. But like the parties continued after. Like there was still the pig roast and everything.
We only had one more.
Did we really?
Yeah, because after that, Mom quit hanging out with everyone. And I remember thinking that it was because she like drank too much and didn't want people to know, or like she didn't want to like leave the house and she was a hermit. It took me years to realize. Pretty sure that Mom just didn't want to be surrounded by all of her coupled up best friends that her and Dad grew up with.
Oh yeah.
I mean, think about it. Like you spend your whole life as one of a couple of, you know, like 6 other couples. Maybe when your spouse dies, you don't want to be constantly reminded of all these other couples that.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
Like that, I think that's probably why Mom pulled away. Like, same reason, have you noticed? Well, I don't know if you noticed because I don't even know if you remembered that this was a thing. But Mom and Dad watched Star Trek, Deep Space Nine.
Yes, yep.
And Mom has not watched or spoken about Star Trek since Dad died.
Yeah, she still has all the recordings, but
she's not going to touch them.
Nope. Yeah, I do remember that. Well, and you know, but the thing is I still feel like Mom still had a lot of bonfires, and I still saw a decent amount of.
Mom had bonfires with the party neighbors.
No, because I spent a lot of my time with Archie.
Oh yeah, for sure. Aunt Della and stuff still came over, but they came over because they forced Mom to hang out with them, basically.
Oh. Okay.
And then after a few years, they just kind of, I guess, gave up. Or maybe Mom spoke to them about like how she was feeling. I really don't know. But
yeah,
like they would come over. It's not like Mom would intentionally host things. You know what I mean?
Right. And I feel like actually when I used to go over there, it was more like Mom dropping me off and she would go do something and I'd stay the night.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. And it took me a long time to realize that it was most likely Mom just didn't want to didn't
be reminded that she wasn't part of a couple.
Exactly. Like all these people that had all these memories and I mean she still talks to them all. And I think now she's a little bit better with it, but I can understand why. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to do that if I had a whole group of hundreds of, well, I guess not hundreds, but, 10 or 15 people that I've been friends with all through my, relationship and high school, and all of a sudden the one person that, didn't really want to think about was gone, and I can totally get it.
Yeah, no, me too. I understand it. But, like, I don't know, because I also feel like, I don't know. I feel like you also had some, because I know that you guys didn't spend a lot of time with Dad's side of the family anyway.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I had, like...
I don't know where to go.
What?
I don't know where to go in this hole.
Whoa, I'm, like, floating across the ceiling. That was so weird.
Oh yeah, but Dad's family?
Um,
That's another experience we could discuss, is our our experience with Dad's family.
Yeah, because I almost feel like I don't know how to explain it, because I don't want to like insult them, you know, in any way, because they love us and they're great.
Yeah.
But there was always that disconnect where like we, you know, I know that we lived slightly farther away, but not that far. You know, like there were things that I wasn't like invited to sometimes as a kid, or like I didn't
and
really...
like when I got old enough to drive and stuff, Tracy and I would like go visit Grandma sometimes, but it like we would go to Dad's grave and then we would visit Grandma, but she kind of it almost seemed like an inconvenience sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. And there was one time when me and Tracy went over there and we had a lot of fun, and like Grandma was really like seemed really happy to see us. But besides that one time, I feel like it's always just kind of been pleasantries. You know?
Exactly. Like we're the people that you politely say hello to but don't really have any kind of connection with. And
I feel like
I don't know if it was a case of like it was just hard for Grandma because, you know, Dad was the first kid that she lost and he was very young.
Yeah, he was.
So
yeah, but then you'd think that she'd want to like hold on to us even more. You know what I mean?
You would think, but I mean, I also can kind of understand if it was hard for her.
Yeah, I get it.
Like I'm not gonna judge her because I'm never gonna judge a parent for how they choose to grieve their kid.
Absolutely not.
But
no, and it's not. None of it is judgment. It's just more like it's weird because of Dad not being around, we just didn't spend that much time with them.
Right, exactly.
And I feel like it would have been a lot different had he still been around.
Well, and what's funny is we were super close with Joey. We were super close with Mike and Ruth and their kids. We were super close with Scott. And the consistency and all of that is they all made an effort to come and see us.
Yeah, well, and that's another thing, is I was always really close with Jackie, Autumn, and Crystal.
Yeah.
And, you know, all of Mike's kids and everything. But we were all, I think it's because they were all, like, our age. Like, everybody had somebody who was their age, or, like, right around.
Right, exactly.
So they're kind of what kept us all, like, connected, basically.
All right. I'm going to end right here, but we're going to come back and we're going to keep talking about Dad's family, but this is a half hour long, so I'm going to end it and we're going to do a second one where we talk about it if you have time.
Okay, yeah, I do.
All right, 1 second. I'm going to mute for a second.
Okay.
All right, everybody, thank you very much for listening to this, watching this. We're going to come back. We're going to play another round of golf, and we're going to talk more about our childhood. So if you guys want to hear about the difference between the two of us growing up, and I mean, we can't really get our other sisters. We can like say most, you know, some stuff that they've said, but unless we get all 5 of us in a call, which would be chaotic, you're not going to be able to get the perspective of all 5 of us. Maybe one day we'll try, but anyway, like, comment, subscribe, follow all my socials, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!